The only local news in high definition. Central Coast News right now.
Hello, good morning. Today is Tuesday, March 6th. I'm Tony Capola.
And I'm Cassandra Jones. Time for a quick check of your Central Coast forecast as you're getting ready to head out the door on this Tuesday morning. We're waking up under mostly cloudy skies. We do have a chance of a sprinkle or two in the forecast. Very light morning showers, though. Only anticipating about 1/10 of an inch or less, so just enough to slick up those roadways. So please be extra careful as you're making your way out the door. Also, we have a wind advisory that will be going into effect later on this afternoon, right at noon. The wind advisory goes into effect for winds 20 to 35 miles per hour, possible gusts up to 40 and even 55 miles an hour. Also, gale warning in full effect due to rough and choppy seas. Small vessels are encouraged to stay off the seas, and also inexperienced mariners are also encouraged not to be out and about on the oceans as well, because very choppy, very hazardous conditions. But I'll have all the details of what you can expect for today and the rest of your work week coming up a little bit later.
Very windy out there. All right, thanks, Cassie. In campaign 2012, Republicans in 10 states will head to the polls today to pick who they want to challenge President Obama in November. Mitt Romney campaigned hard across Ohio hours before the polls opened, asking voters to carry him to victory on Super Tuesday. Romney's locked in a dead heat there with Rick Santorum. The former Pennsylvania senator had a lead, but it started to fade after Romney's three-state sweep last week. Santorum admits a win in Ohio is crucial.
And I would make the argument that it's, while it may not be make or break, it's going to be a huge, huge deal.
Ohio is considered the biggest prize today because it's a battleground state in the general election. Mitt Romney and Ron Paul have an advantage in Virginia because they're the only two Republican presidential candidates who qualify to be on the ballot. Ron Paul expects to do well in caucus states, especially Idaho. So let's break down which states are up for grabs today in a fact check. Alaska, Georgia, Idaho, Massachusetts, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Vermont, and Virginia. A total of 419 delegates are up for grabs. The city of Marina could make a final decision today on the fate of its city manager. It's been an ongoing controversy in the city, which has employed him for the past 10 years. Central Coast News reporter Matt Dineshra joins us in the newsroom to tell us what led up to this point and what it could mean for the future of Marina. Matt.
Good morning, Tony. Last month, we're told the city manager received a 30-day termination notice, and the stated reason was the two parties couldn't agree on contract terms. Now, according to officials, Marina City Manager Anthony Altfeld, that you see there in a previous interview, is contracted for a $223,000 salary, but he has voluntarily given back $20,000 of his compensation. We're told some on the council believe higher paid salaries should be adjusted downward given the city's financial situation. Tonight, the city will hear from the public on this issue, and we may hear from the city manager at tonight's meeting as well. Then the council could go into closed session to make a final determination on his fate. If the council decides ultimately on termination, we're told the effective date would be tomorrow. Tony?
Matt, are they expecting a big crowd tonight?
Well, they could. Given the way this has played out, there seems to be keen interest in the community, so we could expect a packed house for tonight's meeting, which begins at 6:30 at City Hall. Tony?
All right, very good. Thanks, Matt. Well, happening today, the Greenfield City Council may put a 1% general sales tax increase on its June ballot to help raise some money. The City Council will also discuss whether to have Soledad's police chief help run Greenfield's police department in light of its chief retiring. The council has already determined the deal would save the city some money. In more local news, a San Martin man is recovering in a Bay Area hospital after being hit by a car. Google Mapping shows you where it happened at Monterey Road and Cosmo. Morgan Hill police say the man was in the crosswalk when a car hit him yesterday morning. He suffered major head injuries. The driver and a Good Samaritan stopped and called 911. Police do not believe the crash was alcohol related. A Salinas man is behind bars after a wild day. Salinas police say they responded to a domestic violence call on the 1400 block of North Main yesterday. They say that's when the suspect got in his Jeep, backed into a patrol car, and sped off. Officers caught him a few minutes later but had to tase him to arrest him. They have not released his name. And a Salinas Dollar Tree store is back open after a car slammed into it yesterday afternoon, causing a lot of damage. Take a look. Only Central Coast News was there just after the crash. Investigators say a teenage girl who does not have a license hit the gas instead of the brakes while parking and crashed into the front door of the store at North Sanborn. Nobody was hurt.
Just a little bit shook up, just a little bit scared. I thought actually we're having an earthquake. We have a lot of kids that run around, and you never know what could happen, but thank God nobody is hurt. That's what, the main thing.
Police say the driver got a ticket for not having a license, plus she may be forced to pay for the damage. Even more local news, a Salinas man is behind bars after Monterey County Sheriff's deputies say he failed to register as a sex offender. Members of the Sexual Assault Felony Enforcement Task Force, also known as SAFE, arrested Reuben Wyatt on the 300 block of North Main Street yesterday afternoon. And we have new details about the shooting death of a Live Oak man last week. The Santa Cruz County Sheriff's Department says someone shot Nathan Connolly once in the stomach Thursday morning. He made his way to the Emerald Bay Apartments near Soquel and Dover Drive, where he knocked on someone's door, possibly looking for help before he died. Deputies are still asking witnesses to come forward. And some encouraging news from the family of Santa Cruz native and Giants fan Brian Stowe. We've learned Stowe's family transferred him to another facility. Two men severely beat Stowe outside Dodger Stadium nearly 1 year ago. Stowe's family posted on their blog that Stowe is now at a facility for aggressive therapy to get him to be as independent as possible. The family also thanked the Santa Clara Valley Medical Center for their help. He had been there since August. On to a gas price alert now. A special test could keep you from paying more at the pump. It's Weights and Measures Week, where every year Monterey County inspectors test more than 3,000 gas pumps to make sure that they're accurate. Central Coast News was at a Valero station off Abbott Street in Salinas yesterday when the inspectors showed up to test 5 gallons of regular gas from a pump. Now, if a pump is not accurate, inspectors red tag it and it gets taken out of service. Companies can also get fined if it's not fixed.
The biggest number of complaints we get are about gasoline stations, and those complaints will increase in number as the price of fuel rises. And we might get 2 or 3 a month. We check them out, make sure that the pumps are accurate, and if they're not, those pumps get taken out of service.
The next time you're at the pump, you can easily find out if it's been inspected. You'll notice a blue seal of approval. And here's a look at the cheapest gas prices on the Central Coast. In Salinas, Arco on North Main Street is $4.17 a gallon. In Santa Cruz, Costco on Sylvania Avenue is $4.21 a gallon. In Monterey, Quick Stop on Fremont Street is $4.19 a gallon. And in Gilroy, AmeriGas on Monterey Street is also $4.19 a gallon. On to an earthquake alert. 2 small aftershocks hit San Francisco yesterday after an early morning 4.0 quake. Now take a look at this video of a seismograph from El Cerritos, 10 miles north of Oakland. You can see it go back and forth as the quake hit. Look at that. It hit around 5:30 yesterday morning. No reports of damage or injuries. In a developing story, Russian police have released about 250 opposition activists. They were arrested in Moscow after a rally against Vladimir Putin's presidential election victory this weekend. In St. Petersburg, 300 were arrested, but it's unclear if any have been released yet. Protesters have vowed the rallies will continue. Election monitors have reported large-scale fraud in favor of Putin. New information on an ex-U.S. Marine sentenced to death in Iran. The country's Supreme Court has ordered a retrial for him. In January, Amir Hekmati was convicted of working for the CIA, despite the fact that his family and U.S. government denied the charges. Well, yesterday it was reported there were shortcomings in the case, and an appeal has been granted. Hekmati is of Iranian descent, but was born in Arizona. New this morning, Paula Deen is being sued. She's accused of allowing sexual harassment and racism in one of her restaurants. Lisa Jackson, the former general manager of Uncle Bubba's Seafood, claims Dean's brother, Bubba Hires, routinely made inappropriate sexual and racial remarks. Hires, who co-owns the restaurant, is also accused of shaking a black employee and watching porn in the office that he and Jackson shared. Well, Jackson says she had to quit her job due to panic attacks. In America right now, Everyone loves Girl Scout cookies, right?
Absolutely. Samoas, Thin Mints, gotta love them. But an alleged thief in Texas was more interested in the Girl Scout cookie money than the actual cookies themselves. 2 teenage Girl Scouts say 2 men jumped out of a car and stole their cash box containing $200 while they were selling cookies outside of a Walmart near Houston. But the girls weren't about to let the men get away.
That's right. The one Girl Scout punched the passenger in the face while the other Scout grabbed onto the car and was dragged a few feet before letting go. Now, both Scouts are okay, but police are still looking for the suspects.
And their message to those suspects, they say they hope the passenger's face hurts from being punched.
So the lesson is, don't take Girl Scout cookies if they're not yours.
Yeah, don't steal the cookies from the cookie jar.
That's right.
Or the money
that
goes along with those
exactly.
cookies.
And we are chatting with you on Facebook this morning about this.
Yeah, so we want to know what you think about these Girl Scouts, and I'm going to go ahead and read some of these comments right now. We have a comment from Crystal Davenport. She says, wow, what a Girl Scout. And Lorena De Leon says, now that's a faithful Girl Scout. And other people just really proud of them, and other people saying, she is brave, but that is way too dangerous. She should have just let it go. And that one's from Tanya Lewis. So
and Stephen Klein says she should have stopped when he started driving away.
Absolutely. And Coco Princino says, wow, what are they teaching Girl Scouts? Woohoo for her standing her ground, but she is very lucky. Nothing else happened to her.
And Deanna Riva says that is true, fierce dedication. This girl should definitely get a Girl Scout badge. I wonder if you can get a badge for something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but lots of people commenting on Facebook, so log on, join the conversation. We love to hear from you guys all morning long.
It's great to hear from you. That's right.
Absolutely. All right, well, coming up, I've got your full weather forecast, including just how much wind will affect your day.
This is Central Coast News, now in high definition.